on the show tonight, Britain's dishiest actor. Ooh, are you looking forward to seeing Hugh Grant? Are you a fan of Hugh Grant? Yes, he's on the show. Hugh Grant. Let's start the show! show we've got for you tonight. We've only gone and got the brilliant Hugh Grant. We have. Yes, we have. Gavin and Stacey star Joanna Page is here. The hilarious Joe Brand is on the show. And later we've got music from chart-topping DJ David Guetta. Yes, we have. I know. I tell you, I am really looking forward to meeting you. I know he's thrilled to be on the show because, well, I listened to one of his voicemails. His honest password would be 1234. I thought Hugh was brilliant in Love Actually. You know, he plays the Prime Minister who falls in love with the tea lady. Yeah. You do think, as if the Prime Minister would feel any affection for the person who makes his tea. And what a weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone looking forward to St. Patrick's Day? Yeah! Woo, 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 woo. Oh, yeah. Saturday night, everyone in Ireland will be going out, getting hammered. And what a coincidence. It is St. Patrick's Day. In Ireland, a lot of people celebrate by kissing the Blarney Stone. They do, yeah. I think that's a kiss, yeah. Come on, love, back a bit. Think of Ireland. Honestly, who would be stupid enough to think kissing something 500 years old and covered in saliva would bring them good fortune? Let's get some guests on! Later, we'll be having music from David Guetta. But first, she's my favourite brand of comedy. It's Joe Brand! Sit yourself down. Paging my next guest, it's Joanna Page! Sit yourself down there. And here's a guest I love, actually. It's Hugh Grant! Hello, sir. Very welcome. Sit yourself down. You all right, ladies? Now, thank you all for being here. And they said to me that, Mr. Grant is driving himself. And I thought, how lovely and low-key. But then I did see your car. It's quite a posh car, isn't it?
I've reached that stage in life, unfortunately, where I need a flash car to keep my spirits up. I'm not proud of it, but I am very, very in love with it, I have to say.
It's blue.
It's blue and it's so beautiful, and there's nothing I don't love about it. If I could get it into bed with me, I would. And I adore it. And what's frightening is I've turned into the kind of person. I mean, you know, now I go home after a few drinks, and in the old days you read a book or you look at pornography or something on the internet. Now I look at the internet about crankshafts and differentials and things like that.
So
and I'm slightly aroused by them as well now.
So do you understand cars now? It's not just the look of it.
Well, I never did, but now, yes. You could quiz me, I know everything.
Really?
Yeah.
I won't be quizzing you. Joanna Page, now, are you a good driver or not?
Well, I'd like to think I'm a good driver, but my husband might think differently. But the first time that he took me out, he said to me, turn right at the roundabout. So when I got to the roundabout, I turned right, and I went right round the roundabout. And since then, I've sort of had a fear and a bit of a problem with roundabouts.
Yes.
And then the next time, he said, go right at the roundabout, and I actually went over the roundabout. So then he thought we were going to die.
funny now. Because Joe Brand, I think you can really drive.
Well, I've got my international rally driving licence, yes.
How do you get that? Do you have to do a special test?
You have to do a certain number of rallies, yeah.
And do you still do it? Are you good at it?
I don't, because actually my husband said he didn't want me to get killed. I mean, that was before we got married, obviously. But actually, no, I do. I love driving, and I do all the driving in my family because my husband never learnt to drive, in my opinion.
Now, Hugh Grant, not just welcome to the show, but sort of welcome back into our lives. We thought you'd lost you. You seem to disappear for periods of time.
Yes, I'm shy. I've slightly lost my enthusiasm for most acting, but I've done some little bits and pieces, curiosities.
No, because it does sound, unless you're really exaggerating, in interviews I've read, it really does sound like you don't enjoy acting very much at all.
Well, I quite enjoy it when I'm by myself. It's a bit like dancing, you know. I'm marvellous by myself. When I act and prepare a part by myself, I'm hilarious, moving, you know, there's lots of colours. And then I get on the set and I do tend to freeze, and the older I get, the more I freeze. And it affects everything. My voice comes out incredibly high and incredibly posh when I'm uncomfortable. In this cartoon, when I'm a pirate, you know, instead of coming out avast, it was avast for a long time. And I played a highwayman once like that. I was supposed to leap out of bushes and say stand and deliver, and it was stand and deliver. So it's a problem. It's just tension.
So, the new movie, it's Aardman claymation called The Pirates in an Adventure with Scientists.
Yes, correct.
Thank you. It's out on the 28th of March.
I think so.
Yes. And it is genuinely funny.
No, it is funny, but
it is funny, yeah.
Not particularly thanks to me. They are geniuses. Aardman are geniuses.
I can see why, but it's got really good jokes in it. It's a very good script.
A very funny script and brilliantly animated. The plasticine figures are brilliant. What can I tell you? Yes, I'm in it. I'm, in fact, very badly cast in some ways. I play a huge, portly pirate with a big beard, and I found if I stroked my beard, I'd find the character. In fact, the director had quite a luxuriant beard, and I used to stand him next to me and stroke his beard. It's very soothing. I now find I stroke beards of strangers in the street.
Well, listen, we've got a clip. That's what we've done. We've got a clip.
That's unusual.
It's in colour, it's got sound and everything, okay. And it's your voice coming out of a claymation Captain Pirate. Yeah. Here it is. It's clever because it entertains, but there is some education in it, isn't there?
Well, yeah, there's you know, you've got all kinds of historical figures, Queen Victoria, Charles Darwin, Jane Austen, so it aims, to please everyone from sort of 5 to 85.
Yeah, because I was telling you, I saw, proper big laughs when I saw it with a jaded audience.
Well, that's very good news.
Yeah, yes. It was great. You should be thrilled with it.
I am. This is my pleased face.
Okay. Yeah. And of course, you're not just acting now, because you have become a sort of, I was going to say an unlikely campaigner, but everyone's an unlikely campaigner. You've become a campaigner with your Hacked Off campaign. Now, the Hacked Off campaign was to get the Levinson inquiry to start, is that right?
Yes, that's right, yes.
So, have you stopped that campaign, or have you got new aims now?
Well, no, now we sort of police the inquiry and try and make sure it's going the way we hope it's going. And but I think it is. I'm rather a fan of Lord Justice Leveson. I think he's doing a great job, and I find it unmissable television. Actually,
it is really good to watch. It really is.
Yeah.
And are you surprised at just how big the story's got, and it's getting bigger all the time, even this week, new developments?
Well, not really. I've been ranting and raving for years about all this, and people rolled their eyes and thought, poor Hugh, he obviously is drinking a bit too much. When I say, but you don't understand, they've corrupted the police and the government are, completely emasculated by these people. And no one really believed me, but I think it's becoming clearer and clearer that I wasn't completely mad, or those of us who were saying the same thing weren't completely mad.
I really feel like we ought to big you up because you picked a fight with people who generally win.
Well, in PR terms, it's not a classic move to take on the tabloid press.
Yes.
I agree with it, yes. But luckily, because I don't do many films anymore, that's not such a worry to me. But I'm worried about other forms of revenge, for sure.
Yes, because...
Someone is leaving a dog mess outside my house every day.
Really? Every day?
Most days, yes. I've become more obsessed with finding out who that is than smashing the worst parts of the press.
That's mad.
But I'm obsessed with that whole thing. I follow people around the streets waiting to see if they use a bag and all that. There's something wrong with me.
That is weird. Yeah. Because...
Maybe it's one of those people that I've scolded before. You see, I don't like it if they use the bag and then leave the bag there by a tree. Yeah. What's the point of that? That's more disgusting to me than the dog mess in the first place.
No, I think it's better than the dog mess, but sometimes there's no bin and you are carrying that bag for a really long time.
I've had to carry a bag for ages. I remember doing a walk by the canal in Leeds and there aren't any bins there, and I have my bags with Daisy and I've had to collect and do the whole walk and then the whole walk back, and then my pocket's nice and warm afterwards, but I had to do the whole walk because I am a responsible dog owner.
But you've got a little dog. I've got a huge dog. It's
well, that's
heavy.
Different, yes.
Yeah, it's like a handbag. It's like I've done shopping by the time I get home with it. Terrible. But in terms of the tabloid press, and Joe, you've never shied away from your opinions of the tabloid press.
No, probably a mistake, I would have thought.
Are you involved in the Levinson inquiry in any way? Are you going to be called, or...?
No, I don't think I'm important enough. Certainly not. I mean, all they've ever done with me is they've focused on kind of sort of highlights of my life. So, obviously, first of all, they thought I was a lesbian, so when I got married, they went, oh, my God, the lesbian's getting married. And, you know, we tried to keep our wedding really, really quiet, just because we didn't want all that hoo-ha. And, in fact, the Sun didn't find out until 2 weeks later, and then they very kindly put a nice headline on the front of the Sun saying, here comes the bride all fat and wide, which I thought was... I know, my mum was so touched.
I mean, that is mean beyond belief.
Well, it is mean, but they are mean. I mean, they're sort of amoral, and they don't actually... I mean, I can take it. You know, having been a psychiatric nurse for 10 years, I must say I got much better, much more creative abuse as a nurse than I ever did from the tabloids. And I just kind of expect it from them. So you just have to separate it from your life, I think, really.
And what do you hope at the end of this inquiry? What are your ambitions for the end of it?
Well, there's my official hopes, and then there are the hopes I don't talk about, which are all to do with violence to certain individuals. But,
well, I'm very happy to help. In fact, I'll go and do a poo outside the...
So do you think it will have a lasting effect?
Well, as I say, I'm a big fan of Lord Justice Leveson, but then, if he were to recommend great things that protect great journalism, and we have fantastic journalism, while identifying and doing something about the worst excesses, then the next hurdle is to make the government put that into action. And you see the Conservatives have enjoyed a largely Conservative press for a very long time, so there's not much in it for them. That will be a hurdle. But I've spoken to the Prime Minister. I think I love saying that. He said if it's not bonkers, we'll do it. But we have to hold him to that.
Of course, the Prime Minister, he's been dragged into it all, and even this week. But something recently did cheer him, because he got to meet the lovely Joanna Page. Here he is meeting you. Now, he loves you. And he just had his nails done. What's...
My husband was quite worried after that, because I said, if I can make David Cameron bow to me, I'm going to make your life a nightmare now.